Good evening and thank you for joining Daily Politics on Trust TV. On this program, we discuss politics, policy and governance. I am Hamza Idris. Repentant Boko Haram insurgents who were released after participating in the de-radicalization program are increasingly posing big security threats in Borno State, as some of them reportedly attacked a police station in Maiduguri on Tuesday. According to a report by the Daily Trust, the ex-Boko Haram fighters struck on an attempt to set free their colleagues who were arrested earlier over alleged drug offenses. In January this year, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, said thousands of Boko Haram terrorists were released back to the communities from the Blunkutu camp in Maiduguri, Borno State, in 6 years. And meanwhile, Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State has expressed dissatisfaction with the radicalization program of the insurgents. On March 5, 2021, Governor Zulum said the radicalization of the repentant Boko Haram members is not working. What went wrong with the public-funded radicalization project? Tonight, we find an answer to this and many more questions as we dissect the exercise of the in relation to the ex-militants fighters in the Northeast. From wherever you may be watching this program, you can call via a dedicated telephone number to share your thoughts live as soon as the conversation commences. And here in the studio, I am Jamilu, Muhammed, an economic analyst and an author who has written a lot on security in northern Nigeria. Jamilu, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good evening.
All right. And to set the ball rolling, here are some of our tidbits. The military high command said 2 army officers will face court-martial over their role in the Turimbiri bombing, which killed over 120 people. According to the outcome of the long-awaited investigations, the military operatives which led to the bombing of innocent civilians at Turimbiri village of the Gabi local government of Kaduna says shouldn't have happened in the first place, according to the high military commands. And today is World Press Freedom Day, and the Nigerian Guild of Editors has saluted journalists for working under harsh economic conditions. The NGE reaffirmed that media freedom, freedom of expression and access to public information are crucial to democracy, which must be at heart of the Nigerian government values and actions. In a statement issued to mark this year's World Press Freedom Day, the Guild also requested the National Assembly to initiate and adopt a law to protect journalists. Similarly, the House of Representatives has joined the rest of the world to celebrate journalists and media practitioners all over to commemorate this year's World Press Freedom Day. Once again, welcome to the program, and we use this opportunity to congratulate the media world for exemplary leadership. And here in Nigeria, thank you, journalists, for your hard work. Wala Jamilu, what will you say to us, journalists? Today is our day.
Congratulations and kudos. I think most especially of recent, we've seen a lot of advancement in the work of journalism and the freedom itself. I think we have witnessed a progress in freedom of press, despite the fact that we still have certain things to attend to in certain places. You see, democracy has played a very good role in that, in setting the free agenda for journalism. In places where you have certain democratic institutions not available, these are places where you have journalists going through a hell lot of times. And sometimes, even in democratic societies, you find out that in abnormal situations, things like what is happening in Gaza today, there are certain journalists who have complained seriously.
Over 50 have been killed.
Yes. They have been killed, they have been maimed, and those who are alive and on the job, they have been denied access to field of practice.
Yeah.
Some of them have been denied accreditation, and recently also the election in India. In fact, India is the largest democracy in the world today. I think certain journalists complained that they were not accredited to cover the elections there. So we still have these issues around.
Then what about in Nigeria? Can you say we are free? Because just recently, one of our colleagues, he was abducted and made incommunicado. In fact, it took the combined efforts of NUJ, Guild of Editors, IPI, and many others, including foreign support groups, to put pressure on the President Tinubu administration to release that journalist.
Well, I think there is, we have that Freedom of Information Act is there, and I think it has addressed a lot of issues. I don't know how much the press would have to be free. The kind of freedom we say 100% freedom is almost impossible. The only thing is that, you see, the press would have to play around certain abnormal situations. There is no free world, whatever it takes. There is never a free world. There is always one thing or another that one would have to attend to. So in the case of, I don't know whether to say, in the case of the case you have just mentioned, it's an isolated incident, so to say, but because we don't have, yes, you have a reason.
And the reason is when he was picked by one of the security agencies, they denied it.
Yes,
the military was asked, they denied it.
Yes.
The DSS, almost all the security agencies. So as I said earlier, and there was an event today in Lagos which was organized by the Nigeria Guild of Editors in collaboration with SERAP.
Yes.
And that issue dominated the conversation, that the government must be responsive to the safety of journalists in Nigeria, because it's like they are being beaten from both ends. If you look at it, very few media houses are even taking care of the welfare, even to pay salaries. Many journalists don't even receive it, with the exception of Daily Trust, for sure, and few other news where we receive ours. But there is no freedom for someone whose livelihood is also endangered by his employer. Some they will just be given ID card, and that is it.
I think in this very instance, I think the Nigerian press group should have acted, or should have formed a kind of pressure group by now. You see, the whole of the issue about press freedom itself, the way to go about it, there should have been something like symbolism.
Yeah.
Symbolism is absent in this very case we are talking about. Today is World Press Freedom Day.
Yes.
I thought a case like that is already a current case. That should have been a symbol of what today's event.
Especially in
there should have been that symbolism.
Rather than talking about climate change.
Climate change.
That is where we...
So there should have been maybe 2-3 days before today. There should have been a concerted effort. The media should have gone out trying to sensitize people about this very day. There are people who don't know that today is even World Press Freedom Day.
Yes.
So I think that particular incident should have been symbolic about the struggle or about today's events. But I think that is...
Curiously, the Minister of Information, he also held a press conference in conjunction with another minister. But outside the hall, while talking to the press, he said under President Tinubu's administration, there was any journalist who was practicing responsibly. I want you to take note of the word responsibly. That was incarcerated or or molested. So you can see how sometimes politicians can have a way of, meandering excesses of government.
Yes, journalism would have to come out as a body. The problem would be the journalism or journalist family against the other set of people. You have to understand a very good characteristics or a very good position that journalists occupy. They say you are the agenda setters.
Yes, and you are
not only reporting. You are the fourth estate of the realm, the whole lot of the society. You see, so I think journalism as a family would have to actually claim and then stay on top of the situation about this particular position you are occupying. So in that respect, you would say it's not journalism listening to the government, but the government listening to journalism.
All right.
I think it should be...
All right. Thank you very much, Jamilu. Now to the topic of the day. The radicalized Boko Haram fighters, they took up arms against the state in Borno. When you read that story, what came to your mind?
Well, I was not surprised when I read it. Yes, I was not surprised. You see, I think a former governor once said that a repentant insurgent or a repentant bandit is a dead one. He said that. I think people saw as if he was too harsh. You see, we have our constitution. We have the relevant laws. Right? Okay, these people they took up arms against the nation, against their own society. Now, there are laws governing their own dastardly acts.
Yes.
So why not apply those laws? After the application of the laws, then you start saving and talking about de-radicalization.
And I think that was the point made by Governor Zulum in 2021.
Fine.
Yes,
that is not the approach the government has taken. The government has taken. You see, people have not been charged to court. People have not been investigated. The whole thing. The radicalization process. It's a process, and what has happened now means that we still have to go back and then investigate what actually happened. What are the items in the program that is not befitting, because it is not working. In fact, it is not meant to work. And I don't think issues like Boko Haram would be treated in a matter of 3, 4, 5 years. I don't think so. So you cannot de-radicalize these people in 3, 4, 5 years. It's not possible.
It's not possible.
It's not possible. So transparently, the government should investigate and then make it public that this is how this program is being run. Let us see what are the
radicalization centers in Gombe. I think it's Malan City, one of the locations in Gombe. At the time, we had cause to visit the place to see how the de-radicalization exercise is being run. And people have been asking questions that, as you rightly said, somebody whose thinking has been changed, it is very difficult to now get him back to normal society. Yes.
In just a very short time like this. You see, if you want to de-radicalize these people, you don't de-radicalize them outside the realm of the law. The law is a system, and they have fallen into that system. And then you said, okay, let us bring them out and then de-radicalize them. It won't work like that. You de-radicalize them inside the prison yards.
All right.
That's why you are supposed to do that. You are not supposed to isolate and say, you see, you are sympathizing with people who have taken arms against you.
So it's very difficult to get
It's
it
very
right.
difficult. I don't think.
Fine. Then viewers, it is now time
It's
to lend your voice to this conversation through the phone number displayed on your screen. Please be precise and don't use foul language. It's a very sensitive matter. It's an existential problem. Boko Haram fighters who have reportedly repented now taking up arms because they attacked a police station in Maiduguri with a view to setting free their members who were arrested, and then from there they march and attack the checkpoint manned by operatives of NDLEA and Immigration Service. It's a serious problem, so we want solution, no name calling. Over to you as we await your call. Yes, Jamilu, they were picked, the report we had, they were picked at a spot where they were abusing drugs.
Yes.
And police took them to one of the police stations. Then some of their members now mobilized. Some even put on military fatigue, and they stormed the police station. It was a serious problem. One of the, I think a lady who spoke to one of our reporters said she was young when something like this happened in 2009, because it started like this when members, supporters of Muhammed Yusuf marched to the police station, and then they set part of it on fire and then freed inmates and all that. She said she was terrified when she saw how courageous.
She saw an exact replica of what happened
then.
Yes,
and that time it was 2000, meaning around 14 years or 15 years now. So where are we getting it wrong in solving this problem?
Let's look at the point there.
Okay, then before you raise the point, it's like we have our first caller all the way from Katsina in the person of Shamsuddin. Welcome to the program, Shamsuddin.
Okay, welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Yes, you had the topic of the day. Yes, welcome, Shamsu.
Actually, the contribution I want to give with respect to the...
Are you there?
Hello, are you with me?
Yes, we are with you, Shamsuddin. Go ahead.
The issue of Boko Haram is not the issue like the state and other government participants should take into consideration.
Okay.
Actually, they should focus on the serious matter about how to eradicate such problem in Nigeria.
Okay.
It is an amazing thing, and it is worrisome to say that some repentant Boko Haram go and invaded the police station.
Yes.
So the issue is like there is a serious negligence over how are they going to take that matter into their hands. They have to take it very serious. Try to make them aware of the issue on how to make themselves useful to the community.
All right. Thank you very much, Shamsuddin. Yes, we understand your point. You see, I think what he was trying to say is that ordinarily, if these young people have been de-radicalized as reported by authorities, we shouldn't have found them at drug joints.
You see, it's the same thing. Exactly that is it. That means the work that particular institution has done has gone to zero. Perhaps these people have not even been de-radicalized.
Yeah, of course, if they still have that spirit of setting free some of their own members, they are still hardened.
Of course, they are still hardened. And they are talking about drugs.
Yes.
Yeah. You said some of them were wearing military fatigue.
Where did
they get it?
A serious question. Okay, we have another caller from Kaduna, Mala Jamilu, in the person of Saleh. Welcome to the program. Can you reduce the volume of your TV set, Saleh?
Okay.
Yes, reduce it so that we can hear you.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Very well. Okay, welcome to the program. And what do you have to say on this issue?
My name is Salem calling from Kaduna. My contribution on the program, I'm very happy for this program, but But I'm going back for the man next to you.
Okay.
The one saying you have to catch them in the prison for the... Yes, I want to make some amendment.
To what?
My contribution here is for the Boko Haram. You said that you have to put them in the prison for me to make them all right in their...
Can you reduce your TV set, the volume again?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
My contribution is about the Boko Haram.
Yes, okay.
The one they returned.
Yes.
The next month you said, yes, next month you said you put them in the prison for them to watch their brain out.
Saleh, unfortunately, we could not hear you because the volume of your TV set is still on the high side. And if you truly want to contribute, you have to actually reduce it. Okay. We lost him, and unfortunately, I didn't get anything from what he was trying to say. Okay, go ahead, Jamilu.
As I was saying, you see, Nigeria is a country where so many things can go, just like that. How would I've been talking about these issues of uniforms, military, paramilitary uniforms. Why would the government just allow this acquisition of uniforms unregulated? See, you have security guards in certain institutions. Every security outfit will come up with its own design of uniform. There has to be regulation. You have to regulate that if you want to get your own uniform, you have to go through a certain process.
Not just to wake up one night
and then go and buy anything and just wear. No, you don't do that. Then about military or force camouflage, this should exclusively be for the force. I think, but we have left even every other person would be.
When I was reporting when I was reporting from Maiduguri, the major issue then was that fight against terrorism cannot be war of attrition. It cannot be war of attrition, meaning there must be an exit route, and that was what started bringing forward the issue of
the radicalization.
Yeah, but we have a caller. Maybe okay, Harry. Okay, Harry, welcome to the program.
Yeah, Harry is my name. I'm from there, Texas.
Thank you.
What we are discussing here right now.
Yes.
The man on White and White has already said it.
Okay, Jamilu.
Why I say so?
Yes.
Is that the only system or the only way they can do this Boko Haram people is to arrest them. It is through there they will know that actually what they are doing is bad. If they are going to repent, it is from the detention there they will repent. And then the federal government will know what to do about them and study them whether actually they have repented. So even the man has already finished the man White on White. White
Jamilu, yes.
The only solution is to get them arrested in the prison, and then they will know whether they are repented, because they have so many techniques of doing this thing. Look at what happened, and they have been doing it like that. So I am watching you people for this conversation. It's very, very good.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you, Harry.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate your contribution. It's like he aligns with...
You have to look at it from the point of principles. I remember in the fight against malaria, certain scientists came up with a way of genetically changing the mosquito. When they did that in the laboratory, they wanted to release those genetically modified mosquitoes into the wild so that they will go and mix with the other mosquitoes and then a sort of de-radicalize the other mosquitoes.
Wow.
Something like that.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
The program was run in Malaysia and in Singapore, you know. Civil society organizations came up and said, no way, you are not going to release those mosquitoes into the wild, because those are laboratory issues. We don't know what will happen in the field. We don't know.
So eradicate.
So what we are saying is, these people, we don't know what you have done to them, and you say you are releasing them back into the society.
But should they be killed, Jamilu?
No, it's not about killing. Have they been tried, and how many of them have been convicted?
But you know, many of our prisons, you know, were filled with many of them. And at that time, I remember we reported, you know, severally that cases of jailbreaks, even in
saying that
they were perpetrated by some of these people.
You say the government has been overwhelmed. That is what you are trying to say. The government
Not me, of course, but
that is
observers.
Okay, observers, of course.
Yes.
Okay, let us say what observers are saying is that the government has been overwhelmed because the government cannot handle these people. That's what the government is saying.
So in the sense that, should they kill them?
No, it's not about killing.
Okay.
You see, each person has the weight of what he or she has done in the system. You see, you have participated in A, B, C, D, and we have understood that your participation in A, B, C, D means that your degree of Boko Haram is A, B, C, D. So in that respect, this is what we require of you. You see, you cannot have a Boko Haram commander who has been trained on using firearms. You say you have de-radicalized the person and then send him back to the society when he knows that if he goes to the police station, he will get a gun and he knows how to operate the gun.
So the tendency is that he will go back. Okay, we have another caller from Kogi State in the person of Aliyu. Welcome to the program, Aliyu.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. How are you? And what are your thoughts on this serious problem?
Yes. Please, not that I'm challenging the government of Nigeria, but the way the government of Nigeria.
Can you reduce the volume of your TV set, Aliyu?
Okay, can you hear me clearly now?
Yes, but reduce it further, so that,
Okay.
Yes, then go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Please, it's not that we're challenging the government of Nigeria. But the way things are going in Nigeria now is that you see, we are suspecting the government in Nigeria. Some of our, like this is rich. I'm not sure that all those people come and take it politician. But the people we are doing them I'm telling you this is the husband. They know that their member is arrested. That is why they take time to use it. And they're coming out with just like in that power, they are coming out to do whatever they like. If Nigeria is telling Boko Haram, they are not supposed to use them. If you look what they are doing, always share them with those people. Please, if it can just let them do something. It is to only one naira, 2 naira, go up to jail. But if they carry arms, you can bomb and everything to kill people. But put everybody video and witness. Our government will look into the system. People should consider it. I think
all right. All right. Thank you very much, Aliyu. I think it's an extension of some of the things you said. And maybe the radicalization was okay since from what we know, because we have, I said it earlier, we have done quite a number of reports on this. The people that trained them while in the radicalization camp, and then even clerics with superior arguments, they subject them to have debates and all that. Somebody who spoke to us said the issue is somebody who was used to blood, somebody who was used to killing, somebody who does not have source of livelihood. Now he took up arms and now you caught him. You say, okay, you have the radicalized, and then you just release him into the society without providing for him means of survival, that this might partly be responsible for these young people going back to drugs?
Well, I won't buy that. I would say if somebody comes and his own status of living becomes a bit unbearable, he has to fight for living and so on and so forth, somebody may go into petty crimes. I would buy that. Somebody,
but not high profile.
But not as this one. So they have not been de-radicalized.
Okay, that is your.
And I don't even buy the program.
All right.
Honestly.
Okay, we'll come to that. We have another caller from Katsina in the person of Salu. Welcome to the program, Salu.
Good evening. Good evening to your guest.
Yes. We're happy to have you. And what do you have to say on this problem that happened in Borno?
Yes, thank you. From the discussion from your guest, there was a word I picked from what he said.
Okay.
Which is the word that he said, Nigeria is a place where anything goes. That word is a very strong word, and that is what me I've always been saying. Nigeria is a place where anything goes. Like from inception, right from I think Buhari era, when those Boko Harams were captured and they said they want to de-radicalize them. Even the governor of Borno State was against it.
Exactly.
At that point.
This was in 2021, yes.
Yes, he was seriously against it. He came out and was shouting on his voice that this particular decision will backfire at the end of the day. Now, today, look at what is happening. What he said then, what he was afraid of then, is what we are facing now. It's what is happening now. But because of some vested interest that brought up that particular idea, they have their own mission. He succeeded ahead of the governor and ahead of every other northerners that were shouting at that particular point. The second issue here again is this. Nigeria is a country where laws of the country doesn't work at all. It only works on the innocent people, but it doesn't work on those that is supposed to work on.
As you said earlier, yeah. Okay.
That is the problem we are facing. Nigeria is a place that you don't have capital punishment for things like this. Now we are dealing with this one. We will not finish with the banditry issue in the northern part of the country. Now we are having the same issue now coming up again. I just pray that the security head that are responsible for all those issues meet up with their responsibilities. Most especially the northerners that are holding these positions. They need to wake up from their slumbers and know that the north is really on fire. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. The north is really on fire. We hosted the spokesperson of Arewa Consultative Forum yesterday, Professor Tukur Baba. He used similar words that it's like the governors are not really getting it right in terms of approaching some of these existential problems. Yes, Jamilu, I want to ask you, what do you think should happen? Because you said you didn't really believe in this, and up to now you don't believe in it. How do you think, should you want them to subject them to firing squad or what? I don't know.
No, in the first place, we have to look at ways of mitigating or even destroying the very structures that are breeding grounds for Boko Haram and other insurgencies.
Is it like poverty? Or?
It's not poverty.
Okay.
These issues are not only poverty. Poverty just came along the line, and I think one of the fundamental issues of this Boko Haram is nothing other than socio-economic, or let me even put it straight, economic.
Okay.
Yes, because some of these things are issues of mineral mining. That is what is happening. This is what is bringing about all these issues. But we don't want to attend to all these issues. We don't want to talk about these issues. We say they are thorny, they are this, they are that. These issues are there. We know these are. How many times have we had people reporting that they have seen helicopters flying, coming to drop XYZ for the...
You're not bringing the conspiracy theory.
Yes, but have we investigated and said, okay, these are conspiracy theories and we have debunked them, they don't exist?
Yes, so they remain hypotheses now that have not been checked.
Yes, if they remain hypotheses, you either have to prove them or debunk them.
But then quite a number of political leaders have been saying we know the sponsors of the Boko Haram.
Good. We have said all these things. They say, okay, we are going to name them. All these things have been in the mouth of politicians and nothing has been done. You see, so unless and until we attack this particular foundation of
the problem, it will continue to be there.
It will continue to be there. You cannot be treating a disease and then allowing it to fester. Okay. It's not possible.
Okay, we have a caller from Delta. Let's take him. He is Okocha. Yes, Okocha, welcome to the program.
Okocha Friday.
Okay, you are welcome.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Trust Lady.
Thank you very much, yes. So go ahead.
Please, I am calling you from the state.
Yes.
Abavo and a Kaspas local government.
Okay.
We are under siege by herdsmen. Day in, day out, they are killing my people. My people can no longer go to the farm. This is the plantation prison.
Okay, thank you.
Every day, they keep kidnapping our people. Is there anything the government can assist us to do?
Okay, you have passed the message.
We are
Okocha. Okocha.
Yeah.
We will try and have a program in relation to this because our topic of discussion today is a serious problem that happened in Borno, where the radicalized Boko Haram fighters, took up arms against the police. Do you have anything to say on this? If no,
it's okay.
I will thank you, and we have taken note of your issue. Yes, I will find time and discuss it. Okay?
It's okay.
All right, thank you. Yes. All right, thank you. Yes.
So I think the phase of the issue about de-radicalization, we have to look at it from the point of view of war. Boko Haram insurgency is an issue of war. Now, when you go to war, people die, and some others you get as prisoners of war. The people we are talking about, saying de-radicalizing them, are the prisoners of war.
Okay. So how do you treat prisoners?
How do you treat prisoners of war?
I think you reform them, right?
Yes, you can. You see, it's not only reforming them. When you are fighting a war with a defined nation, if you have prisoners of war, you can use them to bargain certain diplomatic issues. Yes, but in this case, you are not fighting. It's a cancer within you. Now,
but
you have arrested these people.
People do chemotherapy, Jamilu.
Yes.
But anyway, let's take somebody from your state, Taraba, in the person of Abubakar. Welcome to the program, Abubakar. Okay, it's like we lost him. I don't want to quote you. In 2018, I was one of the few people who were taken to prisons, the maximum, the medium, and then the other one in Saudi Arabia. How they treat their terrorists. The hardened ones, once they take them to the maximum. And then after some time, maybe 2 or 3 years, they go to the medium. And then, in fact, the final stage, I was shocked. It's like 3-star hotel where they were taken. And they learn a lot of skills. And they are also taught, jurisprudence and all that. They have to, they more or less clean their brains with superior arguments. So by the time they move out of the prison, they are completely different individuals. Could that be a problem?
It's not only the issue.
We don't pass through those processes here.
Yes, the process is not only that. You are only talking about educating them. That's not the only item in the system or in the process. Let me give you another instance.
Okay.
When you
briefly, because we have another caller on the line.
When you say de-radicalized,
yes,
right? and you are releasing the person into the society, why not get a guarantor?
Somebody who will guarantee.
Somebody, of course.
Okay, maybe Ibrahim will tell us whether we should now.
You have to hand him over to somebody.
All right, then Ibrahim. Welcome to the.
Hello.
Yes, can you reduce the volume of your TV set?
Okay, I'm away from the TV set.
Okay, fine. Okay, let's hear you. Jamilu here in the studio said, assuming we are releasing the radicalized Boko Haram fighters when they have guarantors, we wouldn't have been where we are. Are you with him, or you have a contrary opinion?
I have a contrary opinion.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear yours.
In the first place, the radicalization of Boko Haram not even supposed to come into existence.
Then you are on the same page with him because he mentioned this earlier, okay? Then what should have come? Because this can't be a war of attrition, Ibrahim, right?
Yeah.
Then what do you think should have been done? It's like you have a connectivity problem. Are you with us? Oh, we lost you. Please try and call because we want to hear from you. I'm trying to interrogate because when you say it shouldn't have been there, what should have been there? I think these are some questions that we should try and answer before we run off the program. What should have been there?
We have a prison system.
Okay.
The prison system. What is wrong with the prison system?
Okay, meaning that you are saying maybe the anti-terrorism act should be deployed.
Of course.
So that if it is 20 years, if it is 30 years, there should be no mercy.
You see, no, not that there should be no mercy. By the time you spend maybe 10 years in prison, you've been observed. That's why we no more call it we no more call them prisons. We say correctional centers. Is that not what we call them today?
Yes, they changed the name.
They changed the name. So changing is not only about changing the name. They have also changed their mode of operations to be in line with global best practices. That is what has happened, and that is what it's supposed to be. I don't know the level of implementation, but that is what it's supposed to be.
Some say they only painted their vehicles, they painted the fences of the correctional centers, but in terms of
operations, if in terms of operations, in terms of philosophy, maybe nothing has changed.
It's still the colonial legacy.
Prisons, you still have prisons as prisons, not as.
So if I understand, Jamilu, you are saying.
So what I'm saying is that we have a system of laws. We now say these places are correctional centers. So why are you talking about de-radicalization when you have the correctional centers? You see, my suspicion is this. Some people have found a way of making money. They have brought up a program.
Now the world economy.
That is it.
Okay.
They have brought up a program and said, okay, this is a program, government buy it, government buys it, they make their money. And
all right. Samson, welcome to the program. And of course, Bauchi, I remember on 27 July 2009, it was also attacked. Potoskum was attacked, Damaturu was attacked, Meduguri was attacked. That was the beginning of the Boko Haram. Okay, sadly we lost Samson from Bauchi. So in 2009, that was the beginning. I mean, after the lull, in 2002, if you remember, they had the Boko Haram camp in Kanama in Yobe State. But there was a long break of sort until 2009. Government is now saying very few, because I know one of the commissioners in Borno, she said only the remnants. They are very few and they are not even the fighters. These are foot soldiers that are still surviving. Most of them have been de-radicalized or they have been neutralized.
These are people who come into universities, recruit university students. Recruits university students.
You think they are still doing that?
And I don't know if they are still doing that, but I know for sure. I knew how they came into our universities. I was in the university then.
ATBU.
Of course, ATBU.
Okay.
I knew how they came and they were recruiting. We knew how our system, the MSS was very strong then. There was we put up a fight,
a resistance
against them, and for them to come and recruit people from the university and then go, you look at the university student, an intellectual, and then he has been changed. Then you say you are going to change him in 2-3 days, in 1 year.
Okay, we have Justin on the line. I hope we didn't miss him. Hello, Justin.
Yes, good evening.
Are you still, the interaction is getting tense.
Yes, good evening. Good evening.
Yes, welcome to the program. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, go ahead.
I'm in support of your guest. I'm in support of your guest seated by you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why? Okay.
You see, we have a problem on how to tackle things in this country.
Okay.
The very problem here is we should do the right thing.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Very well. Go ahead.
Okay. You see, when coup plotters take arms against the nation, what do they do to them?
Big question.
And after that, some group of people now take arms against the nation, and you want to free them. So let's do the same thing we do to coup plotters, to these people, and there will be a final result. Everybody will depart from doing all this nonsense.
Thank you very much, Justin. He said one law, application of one law to two different
scenarios.
It's like he's recommending firing squad of sorts.
Well, what he is only saying is that, look at, we have laws. He's talking about coup plotters. Coup plotters, the law, the anti-terrorism law
is there.
Yes. It does not cover coup plotters. Coup plotters, they have their own law. But what he's only putting an analogy.
I understand.
Okay, since it is an analogy, we have the anti-terrorism law. What does the law say? Put the law into action. And then our correctional centers, if you think they have been overwhelmed, then, beef them up. I think that is, we have a system.
Just last week, one collapse.
This is the problem we are having with our policing system. So much such that everybody is talking about state police. The reason why everybody is talking about state police is because the national police has failed.
Okay, that is while we're about to round up, will you recommend maybe an audit of the de-radicalization?
That is what I've said. Okay. First of all, this particular Borno incident, investigate it thoroughly and tell us what actually happened. Where did we get it wrong?
At what point
and
they were
then
released?
The audit you are talking about, go back and audit the whole system. You see, while auditing the system, you have to suspend the system.
Okay, you want them to put a stop
to de-radicalization. Of course.
So they should be taken to court, from there to prison.
To prison.
Okay.
The prisons should take care of the de-radicalization.
All right. Thank you very much. I wish we have more time, Jamilu Muhammed, for to continue with this discussion. And you can see where more people are calling, but time not on our side. Thank you for coming. And we have a final solution will be found.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and we thank all those who called: Shamsuddin, Saleh, Harry, Aliyu, Salihu, Okocha, Abubakar, Ibrahim, Samson, and Justin, and many others who attempted to call but could not sell through. Try your luck next week, and we hope authorities will do the needful. And this brings us to the end of today's package of the program, which we hope you found engaging and informative. Rest assured to join Daily Politics airing every weekday and our special package on Friday as today, during which we open the line for you to comment on national issues. See you next week for more interesting packages of Daily Politics. Bye-bye for now. I am Hamza Idris.